Welcome back. We have all sorts of content to consume and to catch up on. Data and messages and training. And last time, if you recall, we got to meet Mama and her ghost baby. We learned about what happened to her. And we were asked to reconnect the terminal.
Sam, your next objective is to bring Mountain Knot City into the network. Now, this route will take you to a way station and on to a distro center north of the city. From there, it gets tricky. You'll have to take a detour to get around the mountains.
Still want me using this Cupid on the way? Software's not been rewritten yet.
It's fine. If you link up Mountain Knot City after your Cupid is fixed, the update should filter through the network, stabilizing the connection. It's just one more reason to get there ASAP. But for now, make do with the Cupid you've got.
Any word from Mama Lee?
None. We'll just have to hope she's all right and keep going. It's what she would want. Anyway, check in at Lake Knot City's Southern Distro Center before you hit the road. And good luck out there.
By the way, Sam, I've added a zipline schematic to your PCC. Figured it would come in handy. All you need to set one up is at least 2 anchors. Why bother carrying cargo across a river or up a steep hill when you can just send it through the air? Am I right? If you want a little hands-on experience, you can use the anchors outside my lab. Have yourself some fun.
The good news is, Fragile's available and willing to lend you a hand. If you want Fragile to send you, you'll need to head to a private room. South Knot City looks closest from what I can see. It'll be a lot quicker than walking, that's for sure. But you can't take any cargo with you, so there's that. It's up to you. Just remember the option's there if you need it.
Zipline, huh? That does sound intriguing. Oh, it's raining. Let's not linger. Let's figure out our next move first. We have all sorts of things to catch up on. We can't go to the private room here, so let's go back to South Knot City first. Unfortunately, with a zip line, we probably can't take a vehicle down it. So that's yet another thing in this game which punishes us for daring to use a vehicle. Or perhaps encourages us to go on foot. But if they wanted us to go on foot... Oh, there's BTs, are there? Oh. Or maybe not. Well, we have charging on hand, so let's boost. It's been a while since we've been to our private room. Sam is getting a bit filthy. And we can always use more blood bags.
Good morning, Sam. Keep on keeping on. All clear. Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges.
What should we do first? Why don't we just go ahead and go to the firing range? Nothing could be more entertaining than watching me struggle through what appears to be a very basic shooting section. Interesting. So we're up against mules. And why? Why would we use a handgun when we have an assault rifle? The main advantage of the handgun seems to be its portability. Those headshots are strong. Always be reloading. It's hard to get into the habit because I've been playing my last game involving guns was Arma 3. Where it actually simulates magazines. Unlike most shooters, where the bullets just kind of magically teleport. You don't have to think about hopping up. I do like they have such big heads. It makes it easier to shoot them in the head. Oh. Just have to find our way through. And there we are. That better be an S rank. A rank. I'm actually not sure if there is an S rank. I guess there is. We got one. Oh, let's go back and make a much needed stop at our private room. We can do it right here, yes. And I believe it repairs the vehicle when we visit the private room. Have to remember that the blood bag goes to our private locker. We have to actually go grab it. Oh, Sam looks clean already. I am so disappointed with the EX grenades that I haven't really been bothering to use them. So I am going to just stubbornly continue doing that until proven otherwise. I think I figured out why they call them EX grenades. It has to be short for excrement, right? Just speculation. Well, look at that. Plenty of mail to read. We do like to read out all of our mail. Owen Southwick. Resources scattered by the supercell. Sam, I heard you were at Mama's place. Well, I've got a request for you, direct from Bridges. There's some cargo, rare metals, that got swept up in a supercell and ended up at the bottom of a waterfall northwest of South Knot. We need you to track it down and get it to the city. Check Mama's terminal for the official order. By the way, we've received eyewitness reports of a small glowing object somewhere in the vicinity. Retrieving it's not part of the order, but I thought you might be interested regardless. Hate to hit you up direct, but we can't leave that cargo sitting there forever, and you're the best, and only, man for the job. A lot of people are counting on you. Fragile's name isn't Mud anymore. Hey Sam, South Knot City lives to see another day, eh? I remember the bomb those bastards set off before. People said Fragile was working with them, but they had it backwards. She was trying to save us, just like you did. Fortunately, this time everybody knows her part in it. Fragile's name won't be Mud around here much longer, I'll wager. It's all too easy to forget we're still alive because of people outside our little enclave. but you've helped remind us we're not alone. We're part of the UCA, which means we can't just look to others for assistance. We've got to give back in return, too. And we will. Peter Englert, a desperate plea for a second pizza pie. My dear Mr. Sam Bridges, it is I, Peter Englert, the world's foremost connoisseur of the delicious pizzas you so faithfully deliver. Though my impudence would shame the very devil himself, I regret I must entreat you to bring us another of these delectable dishes, this time from South Knot City. I am expecting company, a sweet couple of whom I am intensely fond. They insisted that they be allowed to take the air, but with the wilderness being so very dangerous, I refused to entertain the thought. Alas, while we will be remaining indoors, I am incapable of preparing anything but the most base and disagreeable cuisine, and so I must place myself at your mercy yet again, lest the poor dears starve. While I have already, I am very much aware, gone far beyond the bounds of common decency in making this request, I must compound my sins with a stipulation. The pizza in question must be topped with the bacon of the incomparable Iberico pig. The chiral artist's mother. Please look out for them. Dear Sam, wonderful news. My daughter's getting married. Oh, though you've probably been wondering, we're not related at all. I've never been married, let alone had any kids. I took her in 5 or so years back after her parents died. She could barely speak a word of English. Her parents had been Japanese, but we managed in our own way. It's funny, until the moment we met, I thought I was destined to live out my life all alone. But as soon as I laid eyes on her, that changed. I knew in my heart that I had to protect her, make sure no one ever hurt her, though I ended up doing that myself by being too overprotective in the end. I've tried to make up for it. My daughter's leaving the nest at last, and I couldn't be happier for her. All I can do now is pray and hope for the best. And, I'd be awful grateful if you could look in on her and her husband from time to time, just to make sure they're doing okay. And the chiral artist herself. We got married. How are you holding up, Sam? You must have walked more than 1,000 miles by now. Try not to let it get to you. I'm sure it must be lonely work. Well, anyway, I wanted to get in touch and tell you that we got married. I know. Who gets married in this day and age, right? But through the chiral network we got in touch with a priest, and we said our vows, and that was it. Silly, maybe, but it seems to have brought smiles to a few faces, so thanks for making it possible. We owe you more than we can say. And William Lake. Middle Knot City got nuked. This is from before we were going to deliver the nuke. You probably heard, but Middle Knot City was nuked about a year back. Civilians, staff, everyone and everything gone in the blink of an eye. They said it was a terrorist attack. Demons doing their thing. Assholes. Fragile got caught up in the whole mess somehow too, though I wasn't privy to the details. Long story short, they started screening deliveries a whole lot more thoroughly. Not that it made a difference. It was one tragedy after another. We lost half of South Knot City not long after. Half's better than all, but a whole lot of people still died, and it shook the rest up pretty bad. They started to wonder if joining the UCA wasn't the worst choice they ever made. And the more people said it out loud, the more paranoid they got. It festered and spread, that thinking, beyond the city even. Not that it takes much for your average prepper to buy in. You might think that becoming a part of the chiral network would have helped calm things down a little, but we still don't have a handle on the terrorists. It could all fall apart at any moment. But if it does, we can't let it beat us. Even if everything you've built, everything we've built breaks down, we've got to do what we can to patch it up. That's all there is to it. And let's check out some interviews. Di Hardman, the situation after the first Death Stranding incident. There was a series of huge explosions. Well, not so much a series. They were simultaneous worldwide. The global comms infrastructure was shot to hell, but we salvaged what we could and tried to make sense of what had happened. It didn't seem like much at the time, but it was a hell of a lot better than what we have now. Anyway, the government figured the whole thing was a terrorist attack at first. We'd been dealing with a lot of those back then. But it didn't take long to see that this was something else. The craters left by the blasts were bizarre. There was no rubble, no dust even, which led the scientists to rule out meteor strikes. There was trace neutron radiation, alpha rays, but we knew it wasn't nukes either. Some of the particles we detected we'd never even seen before, chiralium, although we didn't know it at the time. The more we studied them, the more our scientists came to the same conclusion. These were the result of annihilation events. It was right about that time that chiral clouds started to form, and after that, all communication with the outside world went down for good. Dead Man. No blue in the inverted rainbow. We haven't heard from Dead Man in a while. We humans are complex multicellular organisms. 60 trillion cells inside each one of us, they say. How many of these cells need to die for us to consider a person dead? Are there any cells in particular which determine whether a person is alive or dead? These questions are academic, of course. The exact point of death can't be calculated using cell counts. On the other hand, no one can deny the existence of degenerative diseases that gradually destroy more and more cells, leaving their victim, effectively, half dead. And what about me? Most of my organs have been harvested from other people. They still work, of course, but could their original owner have been said to be alive? I really don't know. Incidentally, have you ever heard of a fun little experiment they once did with roundworms called C. elegans? These creatures are notable for glowing bright blue when exposed to UV light, but only when they die. It seems to be a reaction from the anthranilic acid within the organism, and it's known as death fluorescence. Yep, that's right. Blue is very much the color of death, it seems. Can it therefore really be a coincidence that there's no blue in an inverted rainbow? Timefall strengthens an area's connection to the beach. This is something to do with chiral particles becoming excited, I believe. In spaces connected to the beach, electromagnetic waves with a blue wavelength can travel easily through the seam, leaking out onto the beach. Some people think that's where the blue from the inverted rainbow goes. Who knows? The fact that blue has a strong connection to death, though, that much seems pretty inarguable. And finally, giant BTs. Hartman. The following assessment is based entirely on eyewitness testimony. Be advised that none of these claims have been independently verified. There are several types of BT, and the means by which they interact with the living also varies. Some BTs actively seek out human beings, while others attempt to draw us towards them. Still others are capable of consuming their prey, causing a void out in the process. It is not only their roles and behavior that set them apart, however. Their physiology is also different. Moreover, we have anecdotal evidence suggesting the existence of some truly enormous BTs. Curiously, however, these ones do not appear to have umbilical cords. Giant BTs are comprised of the consolidated ka of multiple deceased individuals. As a result, the connection between each individual and their beach is lost, which is why the resulting BT does not manifest an umbilical cord. That's the theory at any rate. Unfortunately, I doubt we'll be able to learn more about these entities until the chiral network is online, a day that can't come soon enough. And finally, we are all caught up on mail and data. Didn't look like there was anything else for us. Why are we getting... You know I don't like to see the exclamation mark. It's just the manual entries, isn't it? Well, No, it isn't. It was just the music. So important for us to know. Well, as always, the first step is the Gordon glasses. And The Timefall Porter. Nothing else we need here yet. Although I'm curious if we can do anything at the weapon rack other than ogle the weaponry. It does tell us a bit about the weapon. A high degree of augmentability. But is that something we could actually use in the game? Because if we're having to print a new weapon rather than print new magazines, which I have complained about constantly and probably will continue to complain about, I'm not sure how adding attachments makes any kind of sense. Well, I think that's all for now. Let's take a look. Distribution center. So, there is our target. And we could drive over there, or we could just teleport. And save ourselves some time, and spend some of our resources. But that's what resources are for, right? They're there to be spent. Anything on our person that we absolutely need. I guess the main limiting factor would be the blood bags. I should have just teleported. Well, we'll see what we can do about the blood bags. Oh, I didn't mean to sleep. I guess we slept.
Sam, I'm glad I can do something for you. Especially after what you did for me. Now, picture your destination.
Oh no. We have to follow up on that message. After we just read all of our mails, we have yet more mails. Owen Southwick, are we destroying ourselves? Before you came through, there were people blaming Bridges for our troubles left and right, saying it was their fault terrorists were targeting us more and more. There's no denying that they were, not after we lost Middle Knot and half of South. Not to mention the other small incidents all over. Hell, even our old friend Mama got mixed up in one too. What we've got isn't new though. Well before the Stranding, folks all over had a hard-on for stockpiling nukes and other WMDs. Frankly, if the world hadn't gone to shit, we'd probably have blown it up by now. I tell you, there's nothing more dangerous and destructive than human beings. Call it morbid, but a part of me wants us to get it over with already, if we're gonna. It's what humanity deserves, isn't it? If the stupidity we've shown in the wake of the Stranding is any indication. The junk dealer. Marriage sucks. You still breaking your back hauling shit through the wilderness, Sam? Even for a little company? I know I used to. Not anymore, but between you and me, I can't help thinking life was easier back when I was on my own. The freedom to do whatever the hell I wanted. No one pissing and moaning over every tiny thing. Where does this girl get off being so fucking fussy? I swear, I can't do anything right. Should have seen the fight we had the other night. I tell you, it's true what they say. Familiarity breeds contempt. Don't ever get married, Sam. Well, considering Sam's trajectory, not sure he has to worry about that. I hope we will learn more of the junk dealer, chiral artist drama as we continue.
Sorry about the mess. I got caught in the rain. Oops. Didn't mean to give you a shower. Tried waiting it out, but when I checked the time... I'm sorry. Should have come sooner. I got rain in my eyes. Just give me a minute.
I just realized... Oh no, we are full up on stamina. Good.
Sam, check the terminal for available orders. One moment, Sam. We've just received an urgent distress call. Porter out on a run's been injured and can't make it back on their own. It looks like they were carrying schematics for a new autonomous bot prototype. We can't afford to lose those either. Check the order for details.
That's right, the delivery bots haven't really been making use of those. So if I remember, maybe I will.
Did I tell you we added a zipline option to your PCC? Because we did.
You did?
Build a few anchors and link them with a line to travel from A to B in record time. Give it a try.
300 meters apart, huh? Is it worth the time investment if we're never spending long enough in a given area? See, the problem is, if we're going to invest resources, we need to know that it's going to pay off. But we don't know what the game has in store for us, and it seems like we're always going out to new areas. So it's really hard to justify that investment in my mind. That's just how I've been thinking about it. Anything here for us? Yes. Excellent. Guess we have a reverse trike here. And let's see what is in store for us. Building materials delivery. Oh yes, this will be the first delivery out to the way station. So let's get loaded up on stuff. Actually, we can do that after accepting the order. Just listen to the briefing.
The way station you're headed for is far north of Mountain Knot, and on a patch of land carved into an island by terrorists. Right around Higgs' old stomping grounds. Still crawling with his demons, in fact. Anyway, the way station is falling apart and needs extensive repairs. Collect the supplies from the Distro Center and hit the road as soon as you can.
$80 kilograms. That is a heavy load. Okay. And we are going through some mountainous terrain, but it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, there might just be a path for us to drive. We'll have to see, but probably good to take some ladders Some climbing anchors, a PCC for recharging. Good to know we can make blood bags if we don't have enough of them. I think 4 should do it for now. And we, of course, lost our replacement boots, so we'll make an extra pair. We should have kept the skeleton with us. Definitely want this for dealing with BTs. In fact, we might want to take 2. And then something for the mules. We could go lethal. Let's do assault rifle. And we already have a trike. Let's call that good. Probably the most materials we've ever spent in a single order. But gradually what'll happen is if we do end up coming back to these areas that we're fragile jumping between, it should kind of accumulate over time. Excellent.
Order assigned.
So my plan is, let's see if we can get there on the bike. And if we can't, maybe we'll just give it up. It's okay. Not sure when it auto-saves, so I always like to make a save before heading out. And you'll notice I didn't really program in a course because, as we have learned from experience, the terrain is so impossible to see in the map that basically we can't know ahead of time what's going to be passable and what isn't. Stay out of the water though, as much as we can. Try to use these bridges too.
Okay, there you go, Speed Demon.
And there is the mountain we have to go over.
As a reminder, Sam, when carrying deadly weapons, it's absolutely essential that you exercise restraint. Doubt I need to say it, but killing is off the table. More corpses means more BTs and potentially more void-outs. If you kill anyone, you'll be putting not only yourself, but countless other people at risk.
Well, I didn't think of that. That's the end of lethal weapons for me, then. I'm never going to be using them. I had no idea. It's obvious in retrospect, but some things in this game seem like they would be obvious, but they don't work the obvious way. So I hope we can get through here. Okay, and traverse this mountain if we can. Ooh. I just saw some shadowy umbilical cords, so I wanted to try to avoid those. Usually that means BT territory. am actually not sure if we'll be able to make it up here. It's iffy.
What can't you do?
Indeed. Oh, I don't like that sound. Oh, what is this? Okay. So we're kind of up on a ridge here. And if we just hug this without going too crazy, we should be able to make it. Okay, I like a good song as much as the next guy, but when all of the game audio that I use to know what's going on fades out because a music track is on, that is a different story. And this camera continues to frustrate me. I just want it to be completely centered behind him, basically. But it's not going to do that. At least we managed to avoid BTs and mules for the most part. I'm wondering... Interesting. It might actually behoove us to go this way. Excellent. Very smooth. We managed to get here without any major encounters or anything.
Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. Cargo verified. Thank you.
Oh, you must be Sam Bridges. That one-man expedition team? We may be cut off up here, but word still travels. We've heard all about the Great Deliverer, the BT Buster, the terrorist, stopper. I'm still working on that last one. Well, I'm just stoked to meet you, man. So, what you got for us? Whoa, incredible. This will be a huge help. Thanks. You're not gonna even recognize the way station when we're through. All right. All we need now is to get jacked into the network. Am I right? Man, it sure feels good to be part of the UCA for real. We've been literally marooned on an island for way too long. I can't wait to reconnect with everyone at HQ. Patching up this place is gonna take some work, but I'm feeling revved up and ready to go like never before. We won't let our country down. Thanks, Sam. And good luck out there. Not that you need it. You're gonna hit the West Coast before you know it.
Good work, Sam. Next, you need to extend the network to the Distro Center north of the city. Now'd be a damn good time to do it, too, as they just sent out an SOS call. Info's still coming in, but it looks like there's been an accident, and we've got injured in need of assistance. Check the delivery terminal for details.
Good work. New
Another
order
episode,
available. Please
another
access delivery
strand.
terminal for further
And I
information.
think the distress call and the injured are just going to have to wait until next time on Death Stranding. Bye for now.